Library, more commonly known as the FOL. My name is Lorraine Miletic, and I am chair of the FOL Management Committee, and thank you very much for joining us. I have the great privilege of working along with and learning from a very talented group of people on the Management Committee and the library staff. And this year has shown me more than ever how important these connections are. From sharing a story or a laugh in person or online now, to having sometimes lengthy, but always healthy debates about issues concerning our FOL mandate, and knowing all the time that I can depend on their skills and expertise as they step in whenever needed. This year, above all, has also shown me more than ever how important and vital our library is in connecting our community. Whether it's in equalizing access to resources and potential knowledge for everyone in the community, or as a place to gather and meet friends and neighbors, or even in the warm and kind greeting and atmosphere we receive when we step in the door of that beautiful building, or now wait patiently outside in line. Amid the grim reality of the COVID pandemic, we are blessed to have our library where we can escape for a few moments from the outside world. I have to be a little more honest. The debates haven't really been that lengthy this year. Usually they can be quite heated, but everyone on this team before you is just operating at 150% to get behind the library in its efforts to support the community at this great time of need. So it is a pleasure to work with our management committee. The Friends of the St. Mary's Library is a registered charity founded in 1984 for the benefit of our library. We help support the learning, literacy, research, recreation, and communication needs of the community. This group of volunteers is run by a management committee. And in 2020, these are our members. And I'd just like you to give a wave as I introduce everyone, and people watching on YouTube and online here can get a face to a name. Jan McClellan, our treasurer. Jan Mustard, our secretary. Reg Quinton, our volunteer coordinator. Nancy Baird, our treasurer. In January. Passed. Barb Walsh. Joyce Vivian, representative from the library board. Marjorie Hornby is not able to be with us today, but we think of her greatly. Mary Micah, who is dialing in. Can you say hello, Mary?
Hello.
There she is. Sandra Ranton. Carol Passmore. And Lorraine, myself, chair. We were assisted at the beginning of the year by our interim library CEO, Lisa Lawrence, and we thank her for that. And now our current CEO, Sarah Andrews. And I think she doesn't even need to wave, we know her. And our library services coordinator, whom we can't see, Rebecca Webb. And of course, all the library staff. It goes without saying. I would also like to welcome Mary Howarth. There she is, as our newest FOL Management Committee member who is joining us with this meeting. A very great welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
The FOL raises funds in support of enhancements to the library collections, programs, and services and technology. We assist in volunteer activities and partner with other community groups in helping promote the library as a cultural center. We also serve as a social group, bringing together like-minded people interested in furthering the cultural life of the community. To become a member of the FOL, you need only to volunteer some of your time. Memberships may also be purchased for a low annual fee of $5. Membership benefits include advance notice of Friends of the Library events, first pick at our twice annual book sales when we can hold them, and of course, the satisfaction of supporting your library. To say the least, it's been an unusual year for our group, as for most people in the world. We convened at our annual general meeting on January 25th last year at the library to update our membership, our sponsors, and the community about our mission of supporting our wonderful library through fundraising, services, and advocacy. We aim to promote public awareness and appreciation of the library and to support the library with enhancements to library collections, programs, and services. We had a great turnout and we thanked Lisa Lawrence, our interim CEO, and the library staff for their support of our program. And we recognized Monica Hurton as our Volunteer of the Year. We were just gearing up and getting on to our objectives for 2020 at our February meeting when further meetings were canceled due to COVID-19. After a brief spell adjusting to the new way of life, which included some online voting to support library needs, and an online interview conducted by Rebecca Webb and 2 FOL members, we reconvened our monthly meetings, albeit outside at members' homes, until we moved to Zoom meetings in October. In the spring, we welcomed our new library CEO, Sarah Andrews, who immediately rolled up her sleeves, got to know us, and support our efforts with enthusiasm. Here are some of the highlights, what we've been able to accomplish in support of our new library CEO, Sarah Andrews, and the library staff, our sponsors, our volunteers, and the community. We supported the attendance of 2 staff members and 1 FOL member at the OLA conference to grow and develop our knowledge of libraries and how best to support them. We paid for prizes purchased from local sponsors for the online trivia nights created by the library. We continued to partner with local businesses, service organizations, and the town to provide newcomers welcome packages to people new to the area. In return for an annual fee, our sponsors are invited to submit information about their organizations to the newcomers welcome packages. In 2020, close to 40 packages were distributed from the library. Our packages included materials from 65 sponsors, including 1 new sponsor. A huge and grateful thank you to our sponsors. We just can't say this enough. Please see the attached list of sponsors and please support your local businesses and organizations. And Jan has this printed up. It's displayed in the library. We've put it in the paper a number of times. You need to help these people. Please join us in doing so. We agreed to extend our sponsorship term to include next year, 2021, this year now, in recognition of the challenges of running local business or service during a pandemic. And as I mentioned, we ran ads in the local newspaper to recognize and thank these very sponsors and to encourage the public to support them. We thank the library staff who continued to hand out our newcomers packages during the pandemic once the library was allowed to reopen to the public. We continued to support the summer reading program in its modified format, a donation which we have supported historically for about $5,000 per year for the past number of years, so the program can be open to every child in St. Mary's who would like to attend. This program continued into the fall, and it's fantastic how the library was able to switch from an in-person program run in the summer to an online program run even longer. Just kudos to the team on doing that. Although we were not able to continue running our book sales, very popular book sales, or our monthly newcomers meet and greet evenings, which are also very popular at the library, our support continues at the library, which has been running for many years to encourage newcomers to use the library and get to know others in the community, including our sponsors and services. And of course, that we were able to manage that through the bags. In addition to the $5,000 earmarked for the summer reading program, we supported the library financially with 3 new computer stations to allow social distancing, audio and visual communication equipment to support greatly needed technology requirements at this time, software to improve remote access, and even one-time use masks to be handed out free, and also supplied better quality masks created by Joyce Vivian for donations. We continue to enhance the exterior of the library with flowers in the urns, and we thank the library staff for taking care of the inside plants until the FOL sponsored plant manager was able to return to the library. We let the library know that we were here to help, if not in person, virtually. The St. Mary's Community Players and Friends of the Library partner twice yearly for a dinner and theater package, which raises funds for the FOL and supports local arts and businesses at the same time. In 2020, we were unable to offer this event for obvious reasons, but we look forward to resuming this partnership once operations return to normal. In donations, we received over $7,000 in donations from very generous members of the public. And I would also like to point out that includes over $400 raised through Joyce's mask making proceeds, people donating money. Thank you, Joyce.
You're welcome.
In response to requests, we purchased weekly subscriptions to the New York Times newspaper and the Guardian Weekly for patron usage. We have committed to continuing this support for 2021, albeit in electronic copy, which will be available on tablet once we're able to be back into the library. Financial. Despite the restrictions of COVID-19, we were able to maintain a healthy bank balance in 2020 with the support of our many partners and the supporters of the FOL and the library. Through the ongoing efforts of the FOL, we strive to ensure that we will have funds for future commitments, enhancements to the library. And you will be hearing about the annual financial statement shortly, and I'm sure it'll be attached. In 2021, we hope to resume our fundraising activities in support of the library, and will work to raise an awareness for the many services provided by the library. Going forward, we have committed a capital grant of $20,000 for library enhancements and major capital expenses. A sincere and heartfelt thank you to everyone who supported and worked with the Friends of the Library, who volunteered, who sponsored, who contributed materials for the future book sales, or who made a donation. Your combined efforts have made 2020 another memorable year for the Friends of the Library. Now I'd like to call on Barb Tuer from the Library Board to bring greetings from the board chair.
Thank you, Lorraine. On behalf of the board chair, I do want to bring greetings and thank you for inviting me to your meeting. It's always amazing the support that the Friends of the Library gives to the library. Lorraine has gone through a really impressive list of contributions for this year, especially in 2020 when it's been such a difficult year. It's amazing that the summer reading program happened. I know, speaking to Sarah, that also, thanks to the Friends of the Library was able to purchase a software called Beanstalk. I don't know much about it, but I know that it's been very successful. Keeps track of reading, and then I understand the Friends of the Library has also provided prizes, and that's just been such a great, I think, mood booster for everyone. And I just want to repeat something that Sarah said to me when I was going over with her, my comments would be, and she said, the most amazing thing about the Friends of the Library is the way that you guys have been there with the library through all this craziness, and you guys have been so positive. And for that, I really thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Barb. We appreciate that. And now we'll move on to Sarah for our library report. Sarah Andrews, CEO.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the invitation to be here today. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of the work you've done for the library in the past and this year. It's been such a challenging year, and I have to tell you, to know that the funding and the support was there for us to get through this, whatever phase of the pandemic we've been in, and as we flipped back and forth between levels, it's meant so much to the staff. And I tell you that it's a huge part of how they can continue to offer exemplary service at the door. So thank you for that. I'm going to take a minute and just do a small, short presentation to talk to you a little bit about what we've been up to show you how we've applied a lot of the funds that both the town and the Friends have given us, and to share a few of the fantastic products we've been able to buy. I'm just going to share my screen. And this presentation is not very long, but we'll start out together. So as everyone knows, 2020 has been a year of unprecedented situations. My slideshow is going to go ahead without me. as we have dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic. The virus has impacted our community's health, routines, social supports, and home and work environments. Since mid-March, and the impact is still being felt today. It's also impacted the community's ability to offer services to its citizens, and this has included library service. Although January, February, and half of March proved to be busy and successful months for the library, we closed down services from mid-March until June. But in the spirit of building back better, we've been offering services to the community safely from June to December, building on each phase with consultation and careful advancement. As you're aware, we're back into a phase right now of curbside. It's going very well with our extended hours back to normal library hours of service. As I prepared this presentation, I met with library patrons, taking those wonderful photos of families. The message that they sent to me to convey to you was clear. As patrons, we're here. We're grateful. We feel safe in the library. We're borrowing, and being able to visit and access library services has meant so much. These sentiments have been echoed by many patrons since we opened up again in June. It is one of the few public spaces in town that is indoors, or was, and that doesn't require someone to pay to get in. So let's just have a quick look at our stats for 2020. I've put up the comparisons for 2018 to 2019. I mean, I think it's obvious we've had a cut in what we can do, and we've been impacted by COVID dramatically, but it is still very encouraging to see, even with all of the changes it's meant for people, they're still using the library. So our number of active patrons is still significant. The visits to the library, even with the months we were closed, still were represented by 15,000 visits. We did more programming, albeit a lot of it online this year, than we've ever done. And attendance was high and feedback was very positive, especially from children and families over the summer. Our program attendees was significant at about 8,500. Our physically borrowed items definitely dropped, but the borrowing is still there at 31,000 items. Our catalog sessions were significant. People were online looking for things to borrow, looking for things to read, and trying to find that next great book to distract them from all this chaos. We had 168 new patrons join the library. We had 16,700 ebooks and audiobooks borrowed from our collection. Our databases were accessed 24,000 times, and our website had an incredible 131,500 website visits. People were interested in what the library had to offer at this time. They wanted to see what programs we were running. They wanted to know what our collection was, and some of them probably even wanted to know how to join. So we're really pleased with that. The bottom number, of course, we weren't able to rent rooms to the public, so unfortunately that number was low. But we are hoping to return to some level of rentals come 2021. So our achievements included being one of the first libraries to offer curbside services to its community. And we also resumed our inter-county deliveries around the 5 libraries very quickly in July. We were also one of the first to start in-person services quickly. And we opened in August for curbside pickup. And then, we opened in May for curbside pickup, and then we were open in August for in-library. We also started the home delivery service back again. So people could have, the people who were living in nursing homes and senior residences could get their books again. And that was very well received. Our adaptation to online programming, as I mentioned, went very well. And we also were able to expand our access to digital services and offered some new databases, which I'm going to highlight a little later on. And we also started lending Wi-Fi hubs, which meant people could get access to Wi-Fi regardless of where they were, and perhaps better internet access than they were already getting at home, if they had it at home. So 2021 presents us with some exciting opportunities. We're going to have to continue to navigate through COVID-19 for a while. We're going to have to figure out what that impact is going to be on libraries, and also be ready for what that's going to mean for our budget long term. It's not over with us. So unfortunately, the town of St. Mary's and the library are in very good standing with our budget, and we are not going to feel the impact of COVID-19 on our 2021 budget. But it doesn't mean it won't affect 2022 and 2023. So it's important that we be very fiscally responsible and be watching what other municipalities around us are going through, which may impact us as well. We have returned to pre-COVID hours of service. So that means that there's less impact of a lineup outside of the library while we're in curbside. And when we resume service and allow people in the doors again, it means that people have a longer period of time that they can visit. Our aim is to have every house in St. Mary's with a library card. And so how we're going to accomplish that in COVID is a little tricky. We have a limited ways to reach out to people, but that's still our goal, and hopefully we will be successful at that. We will continue to grow our online programming. We are starting virtual school visits, and the teachers have been very grateful for that as we've been reaching out. We are going to continue our partnership with the PRC, and we're just beginning to send invitations to the home library service out with the meal deliveries. There's 150 meals that are delivered in our community every week to people, and those people are now going to be invited to ask for a bag of library materials to accompany their meal. So that's very exciting, and we hope that's going to go a long way to limit isolation in our community. We're going to work with the Youth Council to make sure that what we're offering for the youth audience is what they'd like. We're going to continue to identify efficiencies within the library. We're going to cross-promote our library resources to make sure that they're potentially a benefit to our local businesses, that our businesses are aware that we have internet, we have faxing, we have photocopying, that they come in and use our computers, they can borrow our Wi-Fis and our laptops, but also that we have these products that are encouraging people to purchase craft supplies, and they could be potentially the vendors for those things. We're going to continue our conversation with council and the library board on our space and service needs discussions. And we're going to begin work on a 2022 strategic plan. So this is your library staff. And on their behalf, I thank you very much for all the work that you've done. They're a fantastic group of people. I consider myself lucky every day to get to work with them. They have been amazing through this process. And it doesn't matter whether we're jumping in or out of a stage, everybody's been on board. And they have communicated with me that they all feel very safe through this pandemic, offering curbside. So I'm grateful for that. And of course, where would we be without our friends? I'm just going to limit my screen here for a second. All that you do to make us a success is greatly appreciated. This slide is just highlighting some of your beautiful faces in the projects you've worked on, and it's incredible. We look forward to supporting your efforts in 2021, and together we are very excited about the possibilities of what we can offer the community. So I'll just take a moment, if you can indulge me, to talk a little bit about what the funds that you help raise and to create the library we have, what we offer. So we have a library catalog, as you know, with lots of materials. We try and provide some book list options for people. We have purchased a new product that's going to act behind the scenes and help people to pick their next favorite title. So that should be coming in February. It's a product called Novelist Plus Select, and it's incredible. So if you're a James Patterson fan and you've read out his titles and you're looking for something before he releases his next book, this product's going to help you find something you'll enjoy. Ancestry at Home, it's a big deal. Thank you to Ancestry for letting us provide this to people starting just a week ago at home. And thank you to our staff person, Rebecca, for her handy web work. She was able to connect in, and now people can access Ancestry at Home, which usually is only an in-library product. This will be available from home for the extent of the pandemic. And we are getting emails every single day since we announced it, asking for the login and password. So if you are a genealogist at heart, connect with the library. We'll give you the password, and you can go in and explore. It's the full product, and it's really, really something to get into. We also have the Novelist product that's going to help people find other items they'd like to read by genre, by author, by scenery, by whatever aspect of a book you like. It's a very useful tool. We use it as well for Reader's Advisory, but it's also on our website. Some of our new products that we've got is this Creative Bug, and it's a collection of thousands of videos on a whole range of craft ideas. And the videos are excellent. They're really well curated. They're on very timely crafts that people are interested in. And this is the product that then we hope, if you're excited about it and you want to try it, you're going to then feed into a local business to get your supplies. So we've spread the word. We've shared bookmarks with our local craft businesses to encourage them to know about it, to make a referral to people to try it. And then we hope that because of that, it generates some business for our local economy. This other product we purchased is Press Reader. So here's just a shot of the thousands of titles of magazines that are in here. But Press Reader is also a collection of newspapers, and the newspapers are all over the world. They're full text, the actual publication. They go live very early in the morning. So if someone in your home is a newspaper lover, or you yourself like magazines, I really encourage you to explore it. You will have hours of entertainment and enjoyment here, and they're unlimited. So you don't, you can read till your heart's content. Nobody will bounce you out of a title. Multiple users can be in the same title at the same time. These are some of the newspapers that are available, and lots of Canadian and American papers are there. We've also purchased LinkedIn Learning, which is a product from lynda.com. Very helpful for anybody that wants to learn a small skill all the way up to a certified skill. It's thousands of videos. It remembers who you are as you work through. You get to bookmark it as you learn your skills. Perhaps you're interested in photography. Perhaps you're working on a computer certification. Perhaps you just want to build some soft skills around leadership or communications. They're all there. They're all available. I've been sharing this with the senior team and staff, encouraging them to use it. Our IT staff are starting to refer people to it as we build our knowledge in our at-home worlds of trying to use some of the software we use to connect. People are really thrilled about it. I've been getting really good feedback. So please explore that. It's even being used to the point that people are attaching, some of the courses have a certificate. They're attaching those to their resumes as they go out into the community and look for work. So this is just one more way that the library is supporting our economy. And of course, our virtual programs. So this summer, we had lots of summer programs. We have our cooking club, we have our book club, we have our trivia nights. There's lots happening. And we had a very successful candle making program this week that was to have at a ball. The feedback from the public was fantastic. And the best part of virtual is we can offer more of them than we could offer our make and takes in person. So Rebecca has shared that she's very thrilled with it. And it's going to mean we can do more with people that in this environment. And that is my presentation. So thank you again for all that you've done to make us a success in a really challenging time. I can assure you, we're all just looking forward and trying to come out of this better. And I'm really looking forward to 2021 and continuing to work with you. So thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was very uplifting. And it just brings, I think, to full picture how you can see it's the library, it's the library board, it's the town council, it's the town administration, and the public. They all bring together to make this wonderful, as we mentioned in the Albert Einstein slide there, make this wonderful building where we can come to learn. And I truly thank all of those groups and people and the council and mayor, and thank you for supporting us as the FOL who are able to be a part of that huge wheel of information for everyone. Jan McClellan, I'll turn it over to you. She's going to talk about our financial statement.
Okay, on January the 1st, 2020, our bank balance was $54,539.09. We received an HST rebate in 2020 of $1,219.36. We had some generous donations of $7,161.75. We had our savings account interest was $8.08. So our total receipts were $8,389.97. Certainly much less than normal, but then we weren't able to have our 2 book sales where so much of our revenues generated. Our disbursements in 2020 for the AGM, it was $83.68. The plant manager who looks after our indoor plants, $379.68. Advertising, $806.82. Checking account fees, $10.80. The flowers in the library earns, $203.41. New checks, $97.49. The summer reading program expenses were $2,509.50. The OLA conference expenses were $3,715.63. And this year we have hired the accounting services of Gerald Litchfield, and they have amounted to $75. So our total disbursements are $7,882.01. So our bank balance as of December 31st is $55,047.05, just slightly above what it was starting last year, or this past year.
Thank you, Jan. And we'd like to turn over now to our Secretary, Jan Musser, to speak about our newcomers program and the update.
Well, I think various people have covered it quite well, but I would just like to say that we were very, very pleased that we were able to extend the 2020 sponsorships to the end of 2021. Recognition of the difficulties that so many of our sponsors had this year, and also our own difficulty in getting newcomers packages out, because normally we would be doing someplace between 50 and 70 packages per year. And this year we did 36, which may have also influenced the number of new library cards and that whole issue of not being able to get folks in the door. We have just recently provided these to our sponsors. Thank you, Reg, for getting them made up. And you will see them around town. It's an indicator that this business service has been a sponsor. Please help us support them. They're just absolutely great people. And I'd like to say one thing. A number of our sponsors, when they learned that we were not going to be asking them for money this year, said, well, I'm doing okay. And they donated money. So we're very, very happy with their continued support and the continued support of all of the sponsors who provide material for the bags. That's been amazingly helpful. And the only other thing I would like to say is that this whole thing would not work if our library staff was not so dedicated at catching newcomers as they come in, giving out bags, encouraging that whole process. So it's been a real pleasure working with the library staff. If you have been watching your local newspaper, this was our ad in this week, and that lists all of our sponsors. It has been, our list of sponsors has been up on our Facebook page, and we would certainly be very happy to supply a copy for anyone who would like one. And that's all I have to say really on newcomers, except that the group of us who were particularly active in working on Newcomers Welcome Coffee. We're missing our newcomers. We're missing having the fun of meeting them and having the fun of watching them connect with other newcomers. And we really hope that we can get that going again at some point. It was a really good program and lots of fun to do.
Well said, Jen. Thank you. As you've heard, our group is made up of volunteers. And it gives me great pleasure to call on Reg right now to introduce the Volunteer of the Year Award presentation.
Good morning. I do have some prepared text. Let's see if I can run through this, and at the end of it, I can entertain questions if anybody has any questions for me. It's been our tradition every year at our annual general meeting to honor someone who has made a significant contribution to the FOL as our Volunteer of the Year. This year, despite what we have all had to endure, should be no different. Therefore, as volunteer coordinator for the FOL, I'm delighted to honor Friends of the St. Mary's Public Library Volunteer of the Year, Marcia Neer. Since March, we've all been hunkered down, waiting for the pandemic to be resolved, vaccine to be delivered, and the return of sunnier days with life as normal. But much as we might wish for it, that has not happened as yet. Any and all events that require us to gather in person have been canceled. Spring and fall book sales, which have been a major revenue stream for the FOL and an important opportunity for social connections, had to be canceled. The St. Mary's Public Library strives hard in these difficult times to remain open and or provide curbside service access to the library. But it's been especially difficult for volunteers to access the library basement, where donations for the book sale are collected and organized. Now, we often measure our work in different ways. The book sale and the basement, I measure in tons, not by the number of books, or the volumes, or the boxes, but by the tons of donations. Donations from the public that support our public library through the hard work of volunteers at our book sales. Those that you see at our book sale, sitting at the desk, those that set up and tear down for the sales, and the invisible few you may never know about, work away organizing these tons of donations in the basement of our public library. Our Volunteer of the Year this year is Marcia Neer, one of those who has been working alone, quietly, doing the essential job of organizing the tons of donations accumulated for our next book sale. Marcia was nominated back in October when we started planning our AGM. When I approached Marcia to let her know that she had been nominated, I said, "We'd really like to honor your contribution. Sometimes it's the folks who labor away quietly, alone and in the basement, who should be recognized. We believe there's nobody more deserving." Marcia replied, "I'm flattered, but the only recognition I expect is a heartfelt thank you. I'm sure there are long-term volunteers who put in many more hours and are more deserving than I." Marcia's spirit of volunteerism, her care and concern for the library, and her determination to help get the job done show that she is the most deserving candidate. She has moved tons for us. Many, many thanks, Marcia, and thank you for accepting the nomination. Marcia is unfortunately unable to attend, but here are some final words from her. "I have a commitment on Saturday, so we'll be unable to attend the meeting. Thank you for putting my name forward. I just hope that we can have a sale at some point in the future and get the basement cleared out. Hang in there, this too shall pass." Normally, we would present Marcia in person with a gift. we have a gift prepared for her. I don't know if you can see that.
Mhm.
It's a lovely framed picture of our library by local artist Colin McQuirk. It was done back in 1977. It's for Marcia, and I will be delivering it to her porch for pickup later this week. As well, we present this promissory note to Marcia. When this too shall pass, we of the management committee will take you out to dinner at the West River Inn to celebrate our Volunteer of the Year for 2021. Our treat. You won't have to lift a thing. Gratefully, Friends of the Library.
Thank you. Let's give a virtual thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much, Reg, and congratulations, Marcia. We do so appreciate your contributions as part of this great wheel of the library. That pretty much takes us to the end. We've thrown a lot of information at you. If anyone has any questions, I guess if you're actually online with us right now, you can have a question, or you can forward any questions to our email address, which is linked into the library, or give us a call. You can call me, you can call anyone on our management committee. We're glad to answer any questions that you may have. Anyone from the management committee for the greater good have something they'd like to add? Okay, well then I would like to call for an adjournment of the 2021 Friends of the St. Mary's Public Library AGM. Thank you all for joining us. Joyce, yay. Joyce, do you have something?
No, I was just going to second the adjournment.
Okay. You know, I like to get seconders. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Joyce, for seconding us. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you at the library, either inside or out. Take care. Thank you.
Now our management committee?
Yes. If our management committee would remain online, we'll have